All right, hello everybody. We are just getting things set up here for our next match with our Hanover Horde Gold Fortnite teams taking on teams from across the country. Here you see our Alpha team. The Alpha team is made up of Pexified on PC2, STH Lord on PC3, Jack on PC4. STH Lord isn't here today. Jack is playing remotely, so we'll have a sub playing for Sith Lord unless he shows up here in the next couple minutes. Bravo team, let's jump over to them. Bravo team is made up of Inside Globe, Kong the Mighty, and Mind of Reiner. So they're all here today. They are a full team. Charlie team is made up of Yosoi Grady. Action Jackson dude appears to be missing. Or actually, Action Jackson dude is here. No, that's right. He is the one that's missing. Still waiting on him to show up. And Cooper is here. So they may be playing with a sub as well. And jump over to our Delta team. Our Delta team is made up of Killer J, A-Switch 710, and Lemon Sniper. So Lemon Sniper back in the house. It's good to have those guys back in center. So it's great to see all the kids in here getting ready for the match. Should be just a few more minutes. We'll come right back. Hopefully within the next 5 minutes or so with our first drop. So stick with us. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are just getting ready to drop in here for our first drop with our showing our alpha team here of our gold bracket for our horde teams. This is round 5. Hard to believe we're already 5 weeks into the season, but all the teams are doing good. They've all got some points up there. Obviously, the horde alpha team is right up top right now, but the other teams are somewhere in the mix, and that's where you want to be. Last couple weeks of the season, it's double points. So if you've got a couple really solid finishes towards the latter end of the season, you can definitely fight your way back into this thing. So this is our alpha team. Alpha team is made up of Pexified, STH Lord, and Jack. STH Lord's playing isn't able to make it in today, so we've got a sub in for him. So let's transition to our, this is our Foxtrot team. All right, so this is actually our Delta team, I believe, yeah. So this is Inside Globe, PC6, Kong the Mighty, and PC7, Mind Reiner. So I just need to fix that little graphic there. Let's check in on our Charlie team here. All right, here's our Charlie team. So Charlie team is made up of Yosoi Grady, Accent Jackson Dude, and Cooper at PCs 14, 15, and 16. Just got to fix that other graphic. I don't know. That is our Bravo team. So each team has a different zone that they have to land in. So that's where they're landing. You can see our Charlie team here is headed towards the Greasy Grove landing zone. And let's check on our Delta team here. Here's our Delta team. They are at the north side of Sleepy Sound. So it's really important these teams land at their designated landing zones. Delta team is made up of Killer J, A-Switch 710, and Lemon Sniper. So they need to land at these zones. They're welcome to loot anywhere else they'd like after they land at their initial zone. All right, welcome back, everybody. Sorry about the short break. We had a little bit of a computer crash, a lot going on here. I had some additional stuff running in the background, which I'll go ahead and close out to make sure that doesn't happen again. Looks like there's still Overwatch running in the background, and yeah, I got to get rid of that stream. So hopefully it doesn't crash on us again. We should be good at this point, though. So again, following our alpha team here. Let me set this back up in studio mode and then preview. All right. There we go. We're back up and running. So as I was saying, really important that the teams land in their designated landing zones and then transition across the map to put themselves in a good position for when the storm starts to close. They also want to make sure they are not being tracked or stalked by other teams. So it's a lot that these teams really have to plan for strategically with how these map codes work. So let's check in on a Bravo team, see how they're making out. Bravo team's over here in the deserty area. They're actually in a little oasis here, this little lake in the middle of the desert area. Get some fish. Fish are a good source of food and health and healing, and depending on which fish you get, shields as well. You can see they're fishing some stuff out of the river there, or the little lake. So this Bravo team is made up of Inside Globe, Kong the Mighty, and Mind of Reiner. Let's check in on Charlie, see how they're doing. Charlie team is PCs 14, 15, and 16 here. Yosoi Grady, Accent Jackson Dude, and Cooper. Accent Jackson Dude's not here today, so we've got somebody subbing in for him at this point. But they're here at Greasy Grove, matting up, getting their weapons, getting their heals. Looks like they definitely need to concentrate on getting their heals. What they don't want to do is use their little chug jugs and minis. Now they want to save those for the battle, so a lot of them will wait to see if they can find some of the bigger canisters or one of the bigger trucks, one of the more fixed positions to top off their shields. They have time. They have until the third circle, so it's a lot of time to wait to find that stuff and not diminish their inventory at the same time. All right, so this is our Charlie team. Let's jump over to Delta here. Delta team is made up of Killer J, A-Switch 710, and Lemon Sniper. Moving across this river here. Lots of stuff to loot up there. There's a nice med kit. That'll do you good. Getting in a fight. So the engagement is at third zone or when Storm Surge takes place. So typically with this many people in the lobby, Storm Surge will beat the closing of third zone. and then the teams will then be able to engage each other. So it's a little bit of a waiting game at this point, but a lot of the strategy games are won and lost during these early phases if you don't mat up enough, if you don't get enough materials and resources. You can see PC-17 jumping on top of that dragon thing. You can see it kind of blasts you up with its little, I don't even know what, the little porthole on top. It kind of blows some air out of there. It gives you, allow you to get under your chute and kind of transition across some maps. So there are, it looks like they're all transitioning down to Coney Crossroads. Puts them more firmly into the circle. And they can start to think about where they want to position themselves and rotate to and through. All right, let's check back up on our Alpha team. Alpha team looks like they got a couple of Spider-Man mythics already, so really OP'd tool at this point to use in these fights. Lets you transition in and out of battles really quickly. So really, really good, powerful tool to use. So you can see they use a bounce pad there to help get themselves further across the map. They are really transitioning hard. I think they were on one of the extreme sides of the map, so that's why they need to spend so much time transitioning. Hopefully it doesn't cost them the ability to gather a lot of mats. But at the same time, if you get a lot of eliminations, you can police the mats up of the opposing teams, and that can make a big difference too. So see the transition down into this vehicle, moving across the map here. I believe that's the other player who's playing remotely that might be in that vehicle there. All right, so that is our Alpha team, Bravo team. Bravo team's moving across the map here as well. Looks like PC7 got knocked. I'm not sure how that may have happened. That's Mind of Reiner. Not sure, maybe fall damage or maybe another team's attacking. Unsure at this point, so we'll definitely keep eyes on that. As to how, if it was another team that attacked him, it's definitely penalty points that would be assessed. Looks like his teammates are moving over towards him. You can see PC6 calling the mighty is coming over to help him out. So maybe it was just fall damage. It's hard to tell. He could have been potentially hit by a car of another team moving by. But with the storm closing in, they definitely have to think about moving, transitioning here pretty quickly. You can see they are in storm. It's not going to give him much time, but he does have Spidey gloves, so that might allow him to transition out quick enough. He's going to shoot those webs and move with a sense of purpose to get inside that storm, and then he should be able to get himself healed up. So we'll take a look at the tape. As always, anytime somebody's eliminated early, there's always a review to see what see if some teams are engaging early or not. All right, so that is our Bravo team. Let's check in on Charlie here. Again, still not in engagement zone yet. So still waiting for a third circle or storm surge. PC's 14, 15, and 16. PC Yost Floyd Grady in the top left. Top right would normally be Axton Jackson, dude. He's not feeling well, so he's not here today. And then we got bottom left-hand corner Cooper. So they're doing a good job matting up. Looks like they're full shields, or just about full shields, full health. Nice complement of mats spread between the team. Looks like each one has a different higher level number of mats, so that could be a strategy in terms of who you want to be your tarper. Who do you want to be carrying the metals for more permanent builds, more permanent structures. One thing we did focus on this week was using more natural cover and concealment versus actual builds, at least early in the matches. We found that a lot of teams are being found and pushed in on by really aggressive other teams because they're identifying their builds and they're moving in on them. Whereas if you use natural cover, such as this building here, it provides a lot more protection. It doesn't necessarily give away your position as easily. So we'll see if the kids put that into effect or not. With the particularly in the gold rounds, with the storm closing so small by the time the engagements happen, the eliminations happen fast and furious. So, all right, let's switch over to Delta here. All right, here you see Delta. The Delta team, Killer J, Ace Switch, and Lemon Sniper. Here you see a tornado kind of in front of a PC-18 there, Ace Switch. A tornado doesn't necessarily do you any damage, but you can use it to kind of climb. You can open your parachute and gives you some altitude and allows you to transition across the map. So Pretty interesting addition to the game. Fortnite's very famous for adding things to the game that really change the dynamics of the gameplay. Today is going to be no different. This is the end of the current season. Tomorrow starts a new season. So we'll see what else they add to the mix for these last few weeks of our season, to see how kind of it shakes out. We still have 3 weeks. We still have rounds 6, 7, and 8. And with the new season of Fortnite kicking off, it could add some variables that really change the play dynamic. All right, so you should have saw somebody brought up their map. You can see the storm is really concentrating in this top right corner of the map, which is really interesting. The top right corner of the map has a lot of water. Whenever zone closes over water, it makes for really interesting fights whenever they do happen. Let's transition to our alpha team here. Here you see the alpha team made up of Pexavide, STH Lord, and Jack. See, they're kind of keeping their eyes peeled. They are on the high ground here in the middle of the, actually where the outskirts of where the storm's going to push in. But they're in pretty good shape, just trying to kind of figure out when the engagements are going to happen here. So the countdown for engagements happening now. All right, so let's see if they're tracking anybody. Trying to see. Looks like in Charlie team we might be having some engagements taking place. You can see they're shooting across the way there. PC-16 floating down. Cooper, he's getting shot at while in the air. Up on top of this tree. He does have the high ground there. It does get a nice couple hits on the opposing team's shield, but not too much damage there. Let's check out some of these other teams that might have some action going on. Looks like Bravo team might be lining up some shots. Let's check in on Bravo team. Transitioning across the map. This is Inside Globe, Kong, and Mind of Reiner. Doesn't look like they have anybody in their sights at this point. Delta team, let's check on them real fast. Looks like they are in a build. Looks like they're going to hunker down a little bit. I'm going to edit a little turtle cap on there so they can see you out. Alpha team looks like they're pushing in on another team right now. They did get a knock there. You can see PC2, Pexify gets a knock and an elimination. Jack at the bottom, PC3 is moving in on a player. He's going to shoot his way down into their box. He's going to be chasing them down. Reload on the move. Trying to shoot down. Does get the knock and the elimination along with Pexified. Jack gets another knock. A player sweeping across the top there. He's going to get another elimination here quickly, taking the Loudon team. But they're going to have to transition and move out. So nice quick eliminations here by the Alpha team to get a few eliminations as he moves in on somebody else's box. He's got him boxed in there at the bottom. Pexify's moving in to help Jack out. Moving in on them, and with together, they should be able to clean up that last remaining player. Works into their box there. You see Pexified in the bottom is able to move in on them. Does get a couple more knocks on them, and that's going to do it. They're going to knock and moving that last player. Let's check in on our Delta team. They're in engagement. Oh, and they were eliminated. Like I said, these things happen really quickly, so I'm trying to transition between these engagements. Bravo team here. Moving across the map, doing a good job. Doesn't look like they're in any active engagements at this point. Charlie team looks like they're bunkering down here. Might be getting rain fired upon. They do have eyes on that bigger build that the Alpha team was at. Looks like Alpha team's transitioning away from where Bravo team's at. Heavy fires. Wow, running across it. He's going to have to top up those jugs, those splash jugs. Jack is. Check on some of these other teams. Bravo team, Alpha team, and Charlie team. Charlie team looks like they're lining up some shots. Shooting across the way there. Bravo team still transitioning across the map. They're on the soft side of the storm right now, so they're in pretty good shape. Let's check in on Alpha team. Alpha team's building up, trying to get the high ground, moving in on a player. Pexify top left is chasing a player down around. He's got a good drop on him. As that player drops to fight at the bottom level, they're going to build up some boxes. Pex is trying to fight his way into the box there. He's going to chase them all around. Jack's hot on his tail, is trying to support him with these eliminations. Doing a good job chasing them down. But they are quickly escaping and running for their lives at this point. Let me just check on some of these other teams. Bravo looks like they're still transitioning across the map as Alpha team's still getting in some engagements. Let's swap over and check on Charlie team here. Charlie team's doing a pretty good job. They're kind of bunkering and hunkering down, trying to play the long game more than anything. They did get a couple nice cracks across the way. Axon Jackson did, actually. I think that's Barebow playing for him. Cooper, bottom left, getting some nice shots out of the cannon there. Let's transition back to Alpha Team. Looks like there was a knock, so it looks like Jack got knocked. So it looks like it's just Pexified and Colton in at this point. So we'll see if they can get to the reboot card. Looks like they do have the reboot card, and we'll be able to get him back in the fight. Let's swap over to Bravo Team here. Bravo Team's kind of been playing the bunker game. This is Inside Globe, Kong, and Mind of Reiner going for placement there. You can see they're getting an engagement here at the PC7. Is going to get knocked down. Mind of Reiner, as he was down there by that reboot van. I think it might actually be the Alpha Team down here by this reboot van that's getting assaulted by our Bravo Team. You can see Pexify is going to have to make his way out of there. He was trying to get Jack back in the fight, but it looked like the Bravo team was transitioning in on them. That reboot van's a very dangerous place. PC6 gets knocked. Kong the Mighty gets knocked. So both Kong the Mighty and Inside Mind of Reiner are knocked. Inside Globe is kind of all by himself there in that building. He's going to have to bunker and hunker down. You can see Pexified's going back for that reboot van, trying to make his way in there to get his teammates back in the fight. They know how critical it is to get those reboots and get them back in the fight. Let's check out Charlie Team here as Pexified tries to keep his team in the fight. Charlie Fiend, we got a PC-14 is knocked. Usually Grady, Axon Jackson, dude. Cooper's knocked, trying to crawl his way out of the storm. He's a ways in, though. I don't think he's going to be able to make it out. So it's just PC-15. Barebow Fraggins left. It does have a reboot card, but at this point, you can know how hard these reboots are hard to come by. So he's going to have to hunker down, try to stay in this fight. Alpha Team Pexified still there, trying to get to that reboot. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. Bravo Team Mind of Reiner hiding out in this building up top. I'm sorry, that's Inside Globe. Last remaining team of our Bravo team. Again, our Delta team was eliminated earlier. Was that the Delta team or the Charlie team? The Charlie team. Let's transition back to them. Here's our Charlie team here. Yosoi, Grady, Axon, Jackson, Duke, Cooper. And they were eliminated. They get taken out there. But 13th place, solid finish. Nothing to be ashamed of with that. Let's transition over to Delta team here. Delta team, Killer J, Ace Switch, and Lemon Sniper. Doing a good job raining some fires down. Looks like they're all, maybe it's just one remaining. It's a little bit hard to see if I'm just spectating at this point. Looks like they're spectating a few different players at this point. So let's transition back over to Alpha Team. Check out what Alpha Team's doing. Alpha Team, looks like it might just be Pexified still in the fight at this point. He did have that reboot card. He was at the reboot van, but unfortunately unable to do it. So Bravo Team's out. Looks like Charlie Team's out. Looks like it's just Delta and Alpha at this point. Delta Team, Killer J, A-Switch. Oh, an elimination there for the Delta Team. Actually, they switched over to another mode, had me all screwed up. So yes, they were eliminated earlier. Looks like they're playing some deathmatch activities. So just Alpha Team in the fight at this point. Lots going on. The kids can't keep the kids out of the game, but they're having fun, so that's what matters. So Pexified did make his way back. Hard to believe this late in the storm. It's rare to see a reboot this late, but it just goes to show how critically important it is. Now, once he does get this reboot, that van horn is going to go off, signaling the other players that there's somebody in there. You can see somebody's pushing in on him. He does get the reboot. He does get Jack into the fight. So Jack's gonna come down right in heavy fire. You can see he's just trying to make his way to dry land to be able to get some health and shields. Obviously, he doesn't have any, so his teammate's going to have to make his way to him unless he can pick up some scraps he finds on the ground. He does find a med kit miraculously, so that's going to go a long way. Good job, and you can see Pexified making his way towards him, chunking him a bunch of health and shields to get him back in the fight. So really late order res, and you could see as soon as he started resurrecting his teammates, everybody came knocking. Jack flew through a gauntlet of fire there, but he's been able to find a lot of good loot there at the bottom, and then Pexified was able to cross-level a lot of resources. There you see him throwing down some ammo and keeping them in good shape late into this fight, which is critically important. So good job by Pex to just not give up on that. A lot of players would have given up on that. And look at that. They found a drop right there as well. So sometimes fortune favors the bold, and sometimes you just get lucky. I'm not sure what that was, but either way, they're all back in the fight, and they're moving in on another team there. Jack gets at another elimination there at the bottom left. Pex is going to help him clean up some of that loot as Jack keeps assaulting forward, moving higher into that build, trying to gain high ground with that storm pinching in. He's going to do some accurate fires across the way, across the map there. He's going to throw some splash jugs down, get himself healed up. He's shooting some, and they're exchanging fires, explosions on both sides. Another player pushing in on him inside his box, but he's going to be able to build out and above that. Pex is working his way over to where Jack is right now. Good long-range top-down fires there by Jack. Get some of those damage on the opposing team. You can see how high this build goes and how interconnected everything is. Pretty amazing how quickly all these builds come together. A little hard to see how many players are on the map. Might be 11 at this point, so 9 other players on the map. So probably top 5 finish at this point, if not better, depending on how many of these are full trios. There you see Pex gets a nice crack on opposing player. Got him in his box, dropping down. He's going to have to reload there before he can continue that push. Just push down into the water. Another crack, 60 on the shields. Working his way up and around. Going to use the Spider-Man Mythic to reposition himself behind the player. Does get his box, does get the knock, so good job. He's going to put him in the corner there, but he's going to have to move quickly as the storm is dictating his movement up and away from where he got that last elimination. So good job. Another elimination. Looks like seven players remaining at this point, so maybe 5 others. You see Jack moving in on somebody, Buck gets another elimination there. So good job by this team. Pexified drops in a box of 2 other, but he's going to get knocked there. You can see he was dropped down their box, surprised them initially, wasn't able to get that initial shotgun blast off. Let's see if Jack can go in and clean them up. Does get a nice crack, 76 on the opposing team there. Just a few players remaining. Does get a nice elimination there, moving his way down. You can see it, this storm, how tight this storm is getting as it moves and transitions across the map. It's going to heal up here. Move in on these last maybe couple players. Again, a little hard to see how many players are on the map with the current resolution. You can see the builds taking place, though. He's in a good position in the storm. Does drop in on another player, gets another nice crack there. He is playing the low ground game at this point. He's going to try to shoot out that build, maybe. Moving his way in. He's going to have to heal on the move. You can see how small that circle is. He's going to use this nice open space in the house to transition, maybe try to wait out the opposing players. Because this becomes a dance with the storm, and it's gone. The storm is gone. Everybody's in the storm. It's a waiting game, and we'll see if he's going to try to wait this out, keep spraying himself, or if he's going to try to move in on the opposing teams, the remaining players. He's got that spray. He's just going to keep using that spray to keep himself in the fight. He's trying to see where they're at. Maybe he could shoot out the build. There's the build getting shot out. We'll see if anybody drops down from that. He's going to be able to eat some pizza. Oh, and the storm's going to get him. He's going to place second. So good job by that opposing player. Not sure who that's from, but a second place finish. Quite a few eliminations for our Alpha team. So we'll get things reset here. Just a couple more minutes. Get everybody back in the fight. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We're just getting ready to jump on the bus here. You can see everybody's loaded up in the lobby on the island, getting ready to load up on the bus. Again, last time, pretty good round for a lot of our teams. As with most gold matches, once the eliminations start happening, it happens hot and heavy, and that's what happened to most of our teams. But the Alpha team did a really good job sticking in the fight, getting their teammate back into the fight. Critical piece is to you're going to take your hits, you're going to take your knocks, but putting yourself in a position to resurrect your teammates when you can is really something all teams should try for. And Pexify did a really good job getting Jack back into that fight. So here is our Alpha team. PC2 is Pex. PC3 is STH Lord. He's not able to be here today. And PC4 is Jack. All right, let's swap over to Bravo team here. Our Bravo team is Inside Globe 420 is PC5. PC6 is Kong the Mighty. And PC7 is Mind of Reiner. Let's head down to Charlie team here. Here's our Charlie team. Charlie team is made up of PC14, Yo Soy Grady, PC15, Accent Jackson, dude. He's not able to be here today, so we've got somebody subbing in for him. PC16 is Cooper. And Delta team, let's check them out. Transition over there. Our Delta team is made up of PC17, top left, Killer J, top right, APC18, A-Switch 710, and bottom left, PC19, Lemon Sniper. All right, so each team has their designated landing zone, so that's where you see Delta team going. Sleepy Sound, it's a little hotel resort area, so I'm going to use that little machine to get some weapons. Move through this town, mat up as best they can, and prepare for the fight. There were a couple small infractions last round, but no early engagements for our team, which is critically important. Early engagements lead to 0 points and suspensions. Things like griefing, which is looting from other teams, and stuff like that can get you small 1 or 2 point penalties. We may have had a couple of those. All those will be reviewed after this match is over. But all in all, it was a clean round for all our teams. So good things, and we'll keep working on that. All right, let's go back through our teams here. Alpha team, they're up here at the looks like in the mine. There is some shooting going on, but that's shooting against an NPC, which is allowed. So NPCs are fair game at this point. The reason you get engagements with NPCs is you can get different rewards. So some of them have really good weapons. You can see really good loot coming out of that NPC. And a lot of times you can get either accept challenges because of it or get to certain areas you wouldn't otherwise be able to get to. So that's why you see Pexified working through these this mining area, trying to get kind of deep down there because there's some really good loot down there. All right, let's transition to Bravo here. Team Bravo here in this again by this desert area. Using that, you can see that little splash container just kind of shooting heals off around, or I should say shields off around the perimeter there. So topping off PC6, Kong the Mighty topping off his shields. Like the rest of the team's in pretty good shape with shields at this point. So good job, Team Charlie. Horde Charlie team here. Yo Soy Grady, Accent Jackson, dude, and Cooper. Like they looks like PC14 Yo Soy Grady's gonna need some shields, but he's gonna be topping off on those right now. Using that jug should be able to get him back up to 100% shield, so he should be ready to go. Matting up, they do have a campfire there. It doesn't do him much good now. Later in the fight, those campfires can provide really good healing, particularly if you're trying to transition through storm. They can be lifesavers. All right, let's check in on Delta team. Delta team doing a good job. Killer J, A-Switch, Lemon Sniper here. Sleepy Sound. Matting up as best they can. Getting wood, brick, materials, getting the steel. Every material that they get has different capabilities associated with it. The wood is obviously the quickest to build with, but it's also the easiest to destroy from an opposing team's perspective. the brick kind of the next level of being not as quick as wood to build, but also being more strong, and then steel, the same thing. It takes the longest to build, but it's also the strongest. So, usually a lot of the final builds are more builds with the wood because you can quickly build up and around using the wood structures. But like I said, they're really easy to shoot at, shoot through, and potentially knock down. So just all part of the strategy that is Fortnite. All right, let's check back in on Alpha Team. We still got a couple storm circles to close here, so it's still plenty of time to mat up, top off their loot, and prepare themselves for the final fight. You can see all the loot that they were able to find in that bunker area. Going to use, for whatever reason, Fortnite uses porta potties as places to transition from and through. You see, Pexified does have the Spider-Man Mythic Gloves, which are, like I said, we've seen how powerful they are in matches. Not just transitioning across the map, but if you ever find yourself get a structure get knocked out from under you, there you see their web. His web actually broke, or I'm not sure. Maybe he clipped the top of a tree and stepped on the top of a tree. And he ended up falling to his and got knocked by the tree, but Jack's right there to get him back in the fight. So sometimes that happens. The gloves are really good, but they can catch up to you. All right, here you see our Bravo team. Inside, Kong and Reiner making their way across the map here. They are not in Storm at this point. It's just a foggier section of the map. It just looks like they're in Storm. They are not. They're moving across this rocky reels area. See, PC7 is using the chicken to fly. So you can use that chicken to fly a good distance across the map if you want to. Using that bounce pad, you can see how far he's able to fly with that chicken. What happened last time is he actually dropped the chicken midair, and that's why he was eliminated early in the match. So again, real combat training with Fortnite, using chickens to fly across the map, but just one of the different capabilities that are available to you in the Fortnite universe. Also, this is the end of the season today for Fortnite, so it should be a lot more fun, crazy stuff for this next season that'll play, no doubt, will play into the late rounds of the match. All right, let's check back out on Alpha Team. We got a little gunplay going on here. We want to be really careful. You can see Jack's kind of chasing somebody out of the way. Want to be careful not to do something there that's going to get in trouble. So it looks like Pex and Jack are kind of chasing that person away, and again, just want to be really careful not to lose all the points this week and points next week by doing something like that and not focusing on their gameplay. So that's something we'll talk to them about in future matches, staying away from those other teams, because nothing good can come of that for sure. All right, Charlie team here, transitioning across the map here. PC14, Yosoy Grady, PC15, Axon Jackson, Dude, PC16, Cooper. So doing a good job. They look to be pretty well armored up and looted up at this point. All right, let's check out our Delta team. Again, I think everybody at this point is fully shielded, armored up, ready for the fight. So really now it becomes a matter of positioning themselves in the storm in a really good position. All right, you can see the storm closing in. The storm is actually going from east-northeast to kind of south-southwest. Or west-southwest, so kind of moving that direction. They really want to start to transition themselves on the soft side of the storm, which is the furthest away from the most concentration of people. So we'll see if teams start rotating that way here shortly. Transitioning back to the Alpha team, looks like they may have broken contact from that other team, which is a good thing. Definitely don't want any challenges of unfair gameplay for sure. All right, let's check out Bravo team. Inside Globe, Kong the Mighty, and Mind of Reiner. They've been doing a good job. Again, everybody's kind of looted up at this point. So, and there's Storm Surge. Storm Surge happened, so it's time to attack. Let's see what we got going on here. Looks like Alpha Team's already in a fight. Looks like they did already get a couple knocks there, so good job there. Early couple knocks here. Let's transition to the B team. They look like they're moving in on a team here. Looks like they do get some high ground fires raining down, but they're also getting fires rained down on them. They do get the knock of that player, and we'll get that elimination, but they're going to have to move out of there because they are getting shot at pretty heftily. Let's transition to the Charlie team here. Looks like they're also getting an engagement. Looks like there's already been a couple eliminations. PC 50 and 16, Axon Jackson and Cooper get knocked. So just PC 14, Yosoi Grady at this point in the match. Lots going on. Delta team, let me transition over those. Delta team's in a heavy fight at this point. So they did get a PC 19 there. Does get elimination. Good job by Lemon Sniper to get that elimination. They managed to take out another team, PC 18, A-Switch. So good job there. Let's go back to Alpha team, see how they're making out. Storm Surge definitely called a lot of teams off guard. Looks like they had another elimination. Jack's in a fight. He's got somebody in his box. He's going to be able to clean them up and take them out. Let's check in on Bravo team. Bravo team was down to just one player. Oh, looks like they were eliminated. Let's check in on Charlie. Again, these Storm Surge eliminations happen fast and in a hurry. PC 14 here, Yosoi Grady, last remaining member of the Charlie team. Let's see if he can get those reboot cards and get his teams back in the fight. Let's check in on Delta team here. So Delta team is fully together at this point. This is Killer J, A-Switch, and Lemon Sniper. They had a couple nice eliminations early in this match, so they're doing a good job. Let's transition to Alpha team. Looks like they may be in engagement. Pexify gets a knock there. They do get another elimination there between Jack and Pexified, so moving up on those other teams. So at this point, Bravo team's eliminated. Alpha team another. Pexified gets one more, but he gets knocked. Jack's going to be moving in on that opposing player as Pexified gets knocked. See if Jack can clean up. That other player's going to transition away. That's going to give them time to get Pex back in that fight. Let's check in on Charlie team here. Charlie team's in engagement. Oh, and they get taken out. 20th place, so good try for our Charlie team. It was just down to, I think it was down to Yosoi Grady. Let's check on our Delta team, see how they're making out. I think it's just Delta and Alpha at this point. So this is Killer J, A-Switch, and Lemon Sniper. So making their way safely across the map here. Looks like Alpha team's transitioning on another team. Again, really the key to the game is to transition early and often. You can see they've got somebody in this bush there, able to sneak them out. There's somebody using that natural cover. Pexify and Jack building up and around them, using some Splash Jug to get their heels back into the fight. And they do manage to get that knock. Good job by Pexify to get that knock there. Transition over to our Delta team here. The Delta team is looking kind of down on one of the opposing teams. They're going to kind of bunker down on the high ground, it looks like. Alpha team's down here kind of cleaning up the rewards of that last fight they were in. Switching back to Delta team. So Alpha team going to be holding that high ground, looking for that next storm transition there. Alpha team's working in on another squad. They have that other player they were eyeing up earlier. That is that player that actually knocked Pex earlier. They're moving in on them. Want to be careful about those revenge eliminations. Sometimes you get laser focused on getting that revenge elimination and it ends up costing you. There you see Jack got knocked. So Pexify is trying to transition across again, getting laser focused on a player. Not sure that's what happened. Twitch Clownfish, definitely one of the strong opposing players from one of the other teams. Definitely somebody a lot of the players are really familiar with. So we'll see if Pexify can go in and get this elimination. While he's moving in on them, let's check in on our Delta team. They're still kind of, they did manage to transition down the hill, and they're moving around smartly. It doesn't look like too much engagement. Looks like they're eyeing up that engagement on top of the hill with Pexified chasing that Clownfish character down. So let's check in on that, see if Delta team's going to push in here. Delta team is eyeing up their shots, but they're being really smart. They are shooting, but they did get some fires rained down on them. I think that is the same build but they're going to have to move and transition with that storm moving in. Let's check back in with Alpha Team. Alpha Team is still trying to work on that Clownfish character. Back to Delta here. Delta Team's going to be transitioning far side of the storm, trying to get away. They're going to get over there and bunker down, but just no sooner than that, they got the elimination. There you see PT-18 got knocked. That's E-Switch 710, so just Killer J and Lemon Sniper still in the fight. They're going to move to that center box. Let's switch back over to Alpha Team here. So here's Pexified moving across the map. It's just him. You can see Jack got eliminated earlier. So you're going to try to break into this box. He did get into the box, shot into it, unable to get that elimination. And he's going to smartly probably transition away so he can top off his shields. Let's check it back in on Delta Team. They're being shot in on, so they're going to have to transition. They're going to have to tarp their way out of this at this point. Oh, knocked there on PC 19. He's going to be knocked and eliminated, and then follow player PC XPLT PRC Gamer 1. So somebody from the Taliesin team took them out. 13th place. A good fight for our Delta team. So back here with our Alpha team. I believe they are the last remaining team on the map at this point. So Alpha team is just Pexified at this point. Still moving his way across the map. Moving between these builds here. Again, you have to rotate early and often, continually moving to make sure other teams don't rotate in on you. It's really about dictating the fight and ensuring that you really dictate the cadence of the fight. You can see Pexified trying to move in on that opposing player. Wasn't in a good position, so he's going to transition away and live to fight another day. They do have that reboot card still alive over there, but I'm not sure there's a reboot van. A little bit hard to tell from the map. It might actually be in the storm, and it is. So probably not of value to get that reboot card at this point. See a lot of fighting taking place across the way here. Heavy fires coming in. Pex is going to take some serious damage to his shield. So he's going to have to find some high ground here, probably tarp up and get some heals in him. Still taking heavy fires there from across the way. He's going to hunker and bunker down, reinforce with some steel, and do some editing so he can kind of see out the top here. But again, no sooner than that, heavy fires across the way, and 10th place finish for our Horde Alpha team. So good round by all our teams. I'm going to go ahead and set up a stream here for our for the stream for the headquarters. So once I get that up and running, I'll display that here, and we can watch that. I'll stop casting the stream, but at least we can watch the end of the match for anybody who wants to watch it. And thanks for tuning in. It was a good week, and we'll see you next time.